stepped off stage, two people came at me, said, "Do not hug anybody, not even your fellow contestant right here that you just hugged 2 seconds ago, right before you got on stage. You are to hug nobody, touch nobody. You take this pee cup and you go immediately right now and you go pee." And they collect your urine right then and there, still with your trophy around your neck or your award. And they make you, and it's to, so that way there's no, you're not touching anything, you're not able to take anything. So they make it almost just very strict. So once you get that pro card, they immediately take you, make you drop urine. And so that's a double guarantee for them. And then you still have to wait that week or 2 weeks for it to be cleared to really say, yes, I'm a pro.
That's crazy. I mean, I know people who have got try to get a job and they do this. They buy some SSP and they put it in their pants leg, but you're pretty much halfway naked. I don't know what you're gonna hide. You're in a bikini.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It's their policy. Yep, yep.
but it's like this. This is a fighter. He's a UFC fighter. His name is Nate Diaz. He said like this:
Mhm.
everybody takes steroids. If it's not no more than just like I take it for if I have issues with my bones, knees, because I have arthritis because it's genetic.
Yep, yep.
My parents give me
There's
everything.
ointment steroids even for certain people. There's so many. And I guess too, like if it's not used to just build the muscle, and because that's the thing, this is a natural sport and they want us to stay natural in that aspect as far as your bodybuilding. So a lot of people, I think if they have a medical excuse, they waive it. So, but they
And
try their
also
best to keep it natural without it converting over into that.
And also, you can't use diuretics because also diuretics can be used because you
Hmm.
want to get that dry
Yep.
look. Because
Yep.
and also insulin. Some bodybuilders use insulin because sometimes it can after a while it can affect your body's sugar intake.
Hmm.
Especially you dry yourself out. Because people got to realize something when we see you competitors on the stage, you're shredded, you rock hard, you're just look. It's a certain level gets that look. And I know there's
Hmm.
guys. I know you've ever heard these guys we call ourselves who are schmoes. We're fans of muscular women. We find the women inspired. And there's a small saying: when your ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. And it's just it's just about a certain look,
Hmm.
and you got to attain that look. With natural, it's totally different. If you look
It
at
is. It is.
because even when you just even some I've heard stories of some natural competitors try to use to kind of performance enhancers, but the look is different compared to if you look at over the EPC 9VB.
Hmm.
I've interviewed some ladies say, "Hey, why don't you come over to the dark side?" Say, "Nah, I'm good here." And I've known some ladies who have switched divisions
Yeah.
because it was just they felt like it was going too extreme. Just recently we had a show that if you ever heard of it, also was in the classic, and it's one of the top bodybuilding shows next to
Hmm.
Olympia, and it's always
Watch
to
it.
be
Yeah, it's great.
yeah. I used to watch Arnold as a kid. I'm a fan of his movies. Arnold, the Terminator and the Predator, and to get to the chopper, but
Yeah.
I don't like the fact what he done to the women's divisions in bodybuilding.
Hmm.
I know you got bikini, you got wellness, you got other ones, but it just feel like it's not fair. I mean, you wouldn't put as much work as the men. But we are always going to know like this: the men's division is always going to bring in the money for promoters and sponsorship. Are you sponsored yourself?
I am working on that. I do have a sponsor here. He's local. He's my it's a nutrition store, Rock Hill Nutrition, and his name is Steve, the owner. So he does give me my supplements here and there, and occasionally if I need some pre-workout or things. So very small. We're still working on that. So I'm working on that. And that's some of my main goals is that sponsorship because as you were saying, the money here is sparse. You're putting more money out than anything. And to be realistic, unless you're one of these main women that's over in the NPC like Laura Lee Chaplin or like Ashley Caldwell, these big women that have these major sponsorships, people like me who I don't want to say I'm a nobody because I am a somebody. But in this sport I'm very so much a nobody and even over in there. So you have to have these sponsorships. You have to have people willing to help you, lift you, put you out there too. So I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
process because I think one thing, obviously, sponsorship does help. Like, you can knock off the cost of like little things that help along the way. Like, okay, you might need to do a show and say, you know what, Somebody can say, "Hey, we got your room and board. We set you up at Airbnb." So that's it
Hmm.
right there.
Well, my
You know,
next one is that my doc, and not to sound vain or anything, but for a lot of us women, and I'll be 47 in June. I'm hitting the almost 50 mark here, so I'm a lot older than a lot of these younger women. So I do still kind of do touch-ups, and I get Botox in my forehead to keep myself a little young, youthful. So that's hopefully another possible sponsorship that I'm looking into is my doctor who does my Botox. So I have an appointment lined up with him for that. So we're working
yeah,
on
because
that.
that's one
But yeah.
thing. Is you because as you know, you change your body. For one thing, when you start losing fat, there's one thing that's why you have breast implants because it gives you because when you train and you're physically building your body, it's just for especially for women. Y'all have a higher body mass index than men. And then as you change your body, you start losing certain
Hmm.
aspects that that more round, feminine softness, and that's why some women get the breast implants because it makes them look more feminine.
Hmm.
I one lady who I follow, she just got herself some permanent makeup, tattooed her makeup on.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, Botox. Especially divisions like some competitors in like wellness, they'll get the gels into their butts so you can get that
Hmm.
rounder look. But it's a process. Those things are just little things to help you along the way. And like I said, you're gonna
Little
be 47.
tweaks. Little
Yeah, little
tweaks.
tweak.
Yeah.
You're gonna be 47. I'm gonna be 49 in November. And
Okay.
I tell you, I'm not gonna shoot some stuff up. I do, like I said, try and lose a little weight, a little healthier because I am a bit older. I do have a pacemaker. I gotta be careful, and it's a
Okay.
lot of to do. And also, like I said,
Hmm.
the time you put into this, the time to work. I know there's days where you feel like, what, I don't want to go to work out. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I'm my own coach. I can but it's that
Yeah.
one of my favorite quotes is from Sylvester Stallone and Rocky Balboa. It's not about how hard you can get hit. It's about how you can take the hits and keep
And get
moving
back up.
forward. Yeah, you used to get back up. I'm saying keep moving forward, but yeah, get back up too. But there's a lot of stuff to this sport, and you have to understand this. This is from man Davis Adams. Davis says, "Nice to meet you, Erica. You look beautiful."
Oh,
And I
thank you,
tell you,
Davis.
I tell you, Erica, when I get a new girl in here, they be acting like, "Hey, Joy's got a new girl. She fine as a motherfucker." Maybe she'll sign it because like
Well,
this is
thank
why I
you for
have
that. I appreciate that. That made my
yeah,
day.
this is why I have a platform like this. Give you ladies like you with the voice. I know I have guys who follow my channel and say like, "Hey, we can get this person, this person." I get people that interest me, and I saw you were training with Jamie Hart, who again interviewed with a while back on your on her IG. I said, "Well, Jamie's a great lady." And I interviewed her. One of her interview was one of my most watched interviews I did. I mean, by the time it was not even 2 weeks into it, it was already 500 views. I said, she's not no Ivy
Wow.
pro. She's just this nice lady like yourself who has kids, has a husband. She got into it because she was overweight. She lost weight. She
Yep.
just competed at nationals about a couple of months ago, and I hope she gets a pro card. It's great to give women like your opportunity to share your voice because
I
people,
am rooting for her because she is amazing and she is well deserved too. She's inspiring.
yeah.
So yeah, she's
So
a great woman.
what any shows you're planning on doing this year, or you figure you're just gonna just chill out?
Oh no, no chilling for me. We're full steam ahead. And after I got this pro card, almost my second pro card, I was touching it. I just, again, I have goals, dreams, and aspirations like a bunch of us over here in the sport. Uh, I've been in off season now since the last show, since December, or again, an off season improvement. So I thought about, I don't, me and my body type and the way I mentally work, about 4 or 5 months off is about what I need. If I take anything off more than that, it's a little too stagnant for me. So, and I go off to the dark side with the food, things like that. So I like to have a goal set. So I am aiming for a show May 18th. It's the No Gear Classic. And it's actually the show I got my first place in, almost got my pro card at that show. So hopefully I can redeem myself and get my open pro card there. So I'm aiming for that. Depends on how I feel, how my body responds, and I'll just kind of go from that point, in about 6 weeks or so, how things are moving and changing. So
Yeah. Well,
I'm aiming for there. And of course, I'd like to do the Yorton Cup. That's one of my big goals is the Yorton Cup. But to be realistic, I don't know if this year I'll be quite ready for it because I do see what these women look like, and woo, So they're inspiring me, but it's a rough one. So I might have to jump into that one next year.
well, I pulled up the OCB online list, and then the no gear is in. It's on May the 18th. And also the
It's
Yorkton
in
Cup,
Greensboro.
yeah, in Greensboro, right? Just hop, skip, and jump.
Yep.
And right here, the Yorkton is in September the 21st, and that's in Charlotte. And there's another show. It's called the Battle of the Unrevealed. That's in Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's a good way from my stay yet. That's in November. You like I said, there's a lot of options, especially the
Yeah,
shows here.
I'll definitely hit the later ones, but just starting out, I'm like, because I worry not having enough time in my improvement season and jumping right back into another show. So I'm trying to give myself enough time to fuel, to bulk, to feed my body, fuel it up before hitting just another show. Because I see, because being in the pros now, it's a rough. These women.
Yeah. Well, there's
Mm.
like my other guy like says, what doesn't make you stranger makes you stronger. And sometimes you may not have a plan, but you know what? Once you understand what you're doing in the process, anarchy and chaos is all night long coming.
All
Yeah,
right,
he's just I don't know why he comes out. So this one man, Davius, he says, you still have muscles, Erica, and age is just a number. You look amazing always. Thank you,
oh,
Davius. These ladies
thank
appreciate
you,
that, and you have fans here, and
thank you.
what's your family? Is they support you other than the kids and the husband?
Yeah, all of my family, really, they're the only ones here. I have no family here in the Carolinas. All my other family and my immediate families in Florida. So yeah, they root me on and cheer me on from afar. So yeah,
Yeah,
as
and
best
that's
as they
good.
can.
Yeah, that's good you have the support because you know what, you know, your division is a little bit more, like I said, it's more aesthetically pleasing. It's still a little bit real amount of femininity compared to like women in figure or even in bodybuilding. Those are a little bit more extreme. But like I said
Yeah.
again, you put in just as much work and time is. I know some ladies I talk to. Like I said again, I'm reaching out to some bikini competitors, but I'm gonna mention that I'm a muscle person. I love my female bodybuilders. I love my physique competitors. But really, I'm reaching out to you ladies. I interviewed some ladies who were amateurs in NPC. I interviewed one lady who was actually a pro, and she's a doctor, a bona fide sawbone, as they say in the old West
You
movies.
go, girl.
Yeah, and she competes. And I really, like I said again, I'm expanding my content and really reach out to people who have a story. I got a lady coming up who just turned pro. She's gonna be tomorrow, and also I'm going to talk to a lady who just turned pro also. And I got a lady who she's competing, and she's still an amateur. You know, excuse me. You know, this is why you ladies really need attention. If so again, if you look on social media, they're going to focus more on the men's divisions. Because the fact is,
Yeah.
those are guys that bring the money to sponsorship. There's a whole thing going on with the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing where they talk about how he's going to raise up the price for $200,000. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
like I said again, it costs you. You're not going to be women not going to get the same equality as men, but it does cost y'all much. Y'all
Especially
should get a little more.
bikini, it's a little different, even in NPC, because it's really not, hasn't been out there a long time in reality, and the sport's changing so much, with the way it's looking in bikini, especially in PC. It's like some of you women, I wonder if you should be in figure. How is that bikini? you know,
I,
c-
I tell you,
so
this
it's
ain't.
making it really hard on me. And to be honest with you, even us natural women over here in the OCB, it's getting difficult because they're expecting even some of that physique over here too. And I'm like, I can't, I'm struggling because I'm natural. And a lot of the women from NPC with that physique that are natural are coming over here. So it's getting challenging with the
Well,
physique.
to me, if you get that,
And the older I get.
you get that kind of physique, you're not too much natural. You're doing something because even with your age, you still if you come out if you have shoulders like like a figure girl and you're a bikini competitor,
Jacked.
you're
Yeah.
jacked. You're
It
I
makes you
talk about
question it. I question
yeah,
it too.
and I talk about this how there's in the IFB and PC, there's a division physique and women's bodybuilding where they're almost alike. Even you look at the figure girls, they look like more like physique girls. You look at bikini
Hmm.
girls, look at wellness. You know,
Yep.
I know some ladies who switched from divisions from physique to go over to wellness. I know some ladies who switched back to wellness to go back to figure or physique. You know,
Hmm.
it's about a certain look. And the judges, one thing also, they have a lot of control. They want y'all to come in. We want you bigger. We want you dry. We want you this. But the idea is you're supposed to have a certain look
Yep.
that fits the mindset of
The
the division.
criteria.
Yeah, the
Yes.
criteria. And they keep changing criteria because, it's just,
Even with posing, every year you have to stay on top of it because it's like you said, it's just changing and just shape shifting constantly, even the posing and what they expect of you. So I'm like, oh, it's challenging. It is. It's hard over here because I see the physiques that I am up against and these pros and they're saying they're natural and I'm like, whew, I don't know how, but if you say you are, okay, because
well,
and they're gonna drug test you and they're polygraph testing you, so I hope so.
if you get a bikini competitor come over there and say she's natural and she sounds like Vin Diesel from Fast and Furious, like be a yard or a mile,
Well, when you get off of here, for instance, just so you could take this into consideration and kind of give it your own perspective, and then when you're done, I want you to private message me and we'll have a little chat on this. But I have a few good friends that are OCB. One just did a show 2 weekends ago and won the whole thing. And her physique, let me tell you, amazing. And she to me looks like you need to be over at NPC. And I'm not going to question her because I know the woman and she is all natural, but I see this physique and I'm like, ooh, okay, and so I know it can be achievable to a degree over here, but like I said, even these women in the OCB have this physique to them now to where it's just so hard and so lean and so muscular. It's getting challenging for kind of a softer women that are in bikini when it should hold that criteria of that's what it's supposed to look like. In my opinion, some of these bikini competitors that are winning, you need to be over in figure.
it's a lady who I've been, a friend of mine. His name
But
is Sean. He introduced me very a while back. Her name is Kelly. Kelly competes in figure in the OCP. I think she is a pro, and she has a look. I keep telling her, "Hey, Kelly, you can come over here and maybe compete in the IP in the NPC because you look like you could hold your own with some of
mhm.
these women over here. You have a great look. That this is the look. I think she has a look. I'll send you her a link and check her out.